latency is something that was mentioned several times in several of the talks before. Of what I'm going to talk about, this is the team. So they did the work, I was just cheering from the sideline. Big data. We hear a lot about big data. What is big data? How big is big data? In 2015, every minute, you get 72 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. 2.5 million shares on Facebook, 4 million searches on Google, 300,000 tweets, 200 million emails sent, and the tweets, they were before the 3 a.m. White House tweets. So, up to the YouTube event, in the appearance of YouTube, Google got very close to cataloging just about everything that humanity had produced in the system. I mean, if you want to search for a medieval manuscript or some Greek text, it was indexed. With YouTube, this is not. Right? I mean, you can do everything except video on YouTube. 72 hours every minute, you cannot index it. What do they do with big data? There's applications and algorithms, recommendation system, dimensionality reduction, belief propagation, community detection, fraud detection, algorithms, singular value decomposition, eigenvalue decomposition, tensor decomposition, generalized sparse matrix vector multiplication, time series similarity, MCMC Gibbs sampling, and stochastic gradient descent. What do these algorithms have in common? All of these are very sparse data structures, highly irregular algorithms, and poor localities, both temporal and spatial. So we're back to latency. This is the problem. You've all seen these curves. They call it a wall, blah, blah, blah. You know. I'm not telling you anything new. Another challenge. Up to now, we've been having a processor that talks to memory, and by magic, something is in the storage, shows up in memory, and comes to the processor. This is what we've always done. Virtual memory, disk caching, indexing. In the near future, what we're going to have is non-volatile main memory, hundreds of terabytes persistent. Persistent memory, and therefore, since it's persistent, it's going to be one data structure persistent for all your algorithms, for all the applications. Right? This is your data, deal with it. So far, the solution has been latency mitigation, which is caches. Right? Caches is very good at reducing the average memory latency. More and more of the area of the chip is going to caches. This is some data, it's an older, about 80% of the CPU area, and it's a big energy sink. However, for these workloads that we're telling you about, caches are not, this is the percentage of time that the CPU is stalled. This is data cache stalls, TLB stalls, other stalls, busy. This is for database operations. So 80% of the time is spent waiting for data. So we have huge memory, slower access, persistent data, structured or unstructured data, one persistent representation for all applications, so one size fits all, very poor localities in time and space, ineffective cache hierarchies, and costly in area and power. Latency mitigation, streaming is another solution, so you can stream the data. However, it requires spatial locality. Okay. Streaming assumes that you have spatial. The third option is latency masking. Latency masking, which is otherwise called hardware multithreading, relies on a fast context switch after every memory access, a small thread context, so you can switch fast. And then the number of memory requests is your concurrency. The number of outstanding memory requests is your concurrency. Really? Yes. How? There is a little law called Litter's law. And what Litter's law says is that if you have a queue and arrival and a server and you have average number of waiting customers, blah, blah, and average arrival time, average wait time, average service time, then the number of customers is arrival time times wait time. In the system. And this is irrespective of the distributions of the arrival time and the service time across all distributions. Or it can be put in as Q equal dA, where Q is the average queue length, and D is the average delay per customer, average over all customers. What is the relation? If we have a computer system where the data is in memory, without register or caches, and B is the memory bandwidth, and L is the average memory latency, then the average concurrency is the product of L and D. And this is where the concurrency is the number of outstanding memory requests. So the idea behind latency masking is to do useful work while you're waiting for memory. So you need to have enough work to keep doing work and keep sending stuff to memory, and you're waiting. This is not new. Bert Smith proposed that close to 50 years ago, and there were the Denner Cohat, the Terra MTA, which later became the Cray XMT. So we've done very similar work on the FPGA. The difference between what we're doing and what Bert Smith did is that the data path for us is customized to the application because we have an FPGA. The only reason we use an FPGA because it's a lot cheaper than building a processor from scratch, right? So on the FPGA engine, we have a queue of ready threads. We have a custom data path, and then a thread makes a memory request. As soon as it makes the memory request, it goes into a waiting queue, and then at some point, the response comes back from the memory for that thread. That thread goes back into the waiting thread, the waiting queue thread, the queue of waiting threads, and now it's in a different place and it's processing. So this is the, we achieve massive parallelism because we can get something like 4,000 waiting threads per FPGA, and it's ideally suited for large-scale irregular applications. So this is the pros and cons. First experiment we did a few years ago was sparse matrix multiplication. It's a semi-irregular application. It's semi-irregular because the number of rows in the matrix is known, whereas the number of non-zero values is not known. When both are not known, it would be a fully irregular application. There's a large repository at University of Florida, which now counts more than 2,400 sparse matrices. We've been using that regularly, and the representation of sparse matrix, the data structure to represent sparse matrices, has become a very active area of research. Tons of papers being published, and each paper relies on something like 20 to 40 benchmarks out of the 2,400, and of course, it's excellent for these benchmarks. But so it's a big problem. And the size of the matrices, the newer matrices, are huge. So we grouped our matrices that we did in 3 categories: small, which is less than 1 million, non-zero element per matrix. And for these, on average, we did not get any speed up. And here we're comparing what we did on the Convey HC2EX to Tesla 1060 and K20. This is a few years ago. The second group was matrices between 1 and 15 million non-zero elements. And here we're getting 1.5x speed up, which is not bad. The third group are larger than 15 million elements. And here we're getting 3x higher throughputs. And keep in mind, we're having 20 cores on 4 FPGAs running at 150 million. compared to 1 gigahertz for the GPU, and tons of cores. So this told us that there might be something to investigate further in that. So we went into another more irregular application, which is databases. And there we looked at various applications. I'm going to talk only about one, which is called aggregation. It's a database operation that computes the frequency of occurrence of an attribute, a column value in a relation. The parameters are the size of the relation, the cardinality of the relation, and the distribution of the attribute values in that relation. We compared it to the best software algorithms and some that are being tweaked to exploit locality whenever possible. And we did a very, very large number of synthetic distributions. Now, in this highly irregular application, we need to synchronize between threads. I'm not going to go over the details. We rely on CAMs, computer accessible memory, on the FPGA, to synchronize between threads by doing the lock in the CAM and to cache the aggregate sum, the count. So, uniform distribution, this is the FPGA, this is the software. ZIP, which is a skewed distribution, this is the FPGA throughput, this is the software. 350x about for both. Another distribution is called heavy hitter, same. Self-similar, same. And here we get 600x, 400x. Now, one of the reasons why we're getting such high increase in throughput is the FPGA implementation achieves about 50% of the memory bandwidth utilization, whereas the CPU is about 10%. And this is where 10%, and this is where the 50% on the high cardinality. So, hardware multithreading can mask latency big time. We achieve very high bandwidth utilization and a high speed up even when it's at 150 megahertz. Inter-thread synchronization with CAMs. Even a small CAM of 128 words can achieve very high speed up in throughput. But what do I know? I would have liked to call a friend, you know, like the game on TV. And this was a good year. I have the picture, I don't have the bottle. I can't afford the bottle. But a friend from the same crew would have had a lot more ideas. So how do we keep Stamatis' legacy? By supporting this conference on this island at this time of the year. Submit good papers next year. It's too late for this year. Serve on the program committee and do the reviews in time. Organize special sessions. Thank you.